So BBAI and Inflection, ticker symbol INFQ, are selling completely different technologies. However, they're both chasing the exact same multi-billion-dollar customer. So let's talk about that together regarding BigBear.ai and INFQ. So first off, shout out to Claude and the Prophecy AI app giving a 1-year bullish projection, price target of $4.34. What I want to be talking about is with BigBear.ai, for many years, investors they have viewed BigBear.ai primarily as a government contractor focused on defense, intelligence, and homeland security. But recently, we're starting to see some pretty interesting things because the company, it appears to be expanding beyond its traditional government roots and it's going into more commercial markets. One example is the recent Panama Transshipment Group deal. And BigBear.ai announced that it will deploy they will be deploying, well, first off, here's the article relating to the Panama Canal deal, just talking about it. But BigBear, they announced it will deploy its Cargo Seer platform to help provide real-time cargo monitoring and providing real-time cargo monitoring and chain of custody oversight along Panama's dry canal corridor. And on the surface, what this may seem is like it's some small announcement that doesn't really mean that much, and a lot of investors can simply overlook it and view it as insignificant. But I think that these specific headlines regarding the Panama Canal do highlight some pretty big things, such as the fact that management is increasingly targeting commercial logistics, border security, trade and travel markets where many of the same AI capabilities used in national security can be applied to commercial operations. And despite the fact that some investors are concerned regarding the following earnings report that happened, management is remaining confident in its outlook. And real quick, let's just find that article with you guys right now. So BBAI remains confident, and it was something with Yahoo Finance. So yeah, right here. So the article right here, a few highlights that was stated, and again, feel free to check out the article for yourself on Yahoo Finance. But the company, it reaffirmed full year revenue guidance between 135 million to 165 million, as you do see right here in the article. And their backlog, it also did increase 14% sequentially to $281.9 million. So the company, what it also did is it secured a $53 million classified intelligence contract, which further reinforces its position within national security markets. And how I interpret that, to me personally, how I interpret that is this is one of the most important things happening right now. And that is that BBAI, BigBear.ai, isn't just chasing contract wins. They're not doing that alone. Management, they're specifically trying to build higher margin AI platforms through products like Ask Sage, Cargo Seer, and Shipyard AI. And if those products continue gaining adoption, it could potentially create a more scalable business model over time. Now, transitioning over to INFQ, we do have a few recent data points here regarding the recent news in their investor relations tab that they have. Shifting over to INFQ, while BigBear.ai, they're specifically focused on artificial intelligence, INFQ is positioning itself as a leader in quantum technology. And over the last several weeks, the company, it's announced that what they have announced is participation in multiple industry events. And one of the biggest is Economist Impact Commercialization Quantum Global Event, as you do see right here. Now, at this conference, Inflection, the executives of Inflection will be participating in discussions covering quantum computing, national security, critical infrastructure, sensing technologies, and software. And one session that stood out to me is literally focused on quantum technologies for national security and critical infrastructure. And the company, it is also sponsoring a Quantum Fringe 2026, and continues expanding its presence throughout the UK quantum ecosystem. And on top of that, Inflection recently announced the expansion of its UK Quantum Innovation Center manufacturing hub in Oxford. Hey guys, it's David with InvestQ, and a lot of the research and stock discussions actually happen in my free InvestQ community before the videos even come out. I post weekly CTM updates, quantum stock coverage, daily watch lists, and fast breaking news reactions throughout the week. And if you want to stay ahead of what I'm watching in the market, feel free to join the free InvestQ community. First link in the description below. And what these moves demonstrate is the fact that management, it is continuing to invest heavily in both research and commercialization. And what's also interesting is the caliber of organizations already working with ticker symbol INFQ Inflection, because according to the company, its technologies are being utilized by organizations including NASA, the US Department of Defense, and the UK government. So the company has also highlighted that collaborations involving NVIDIA, and unlike BigBear.ai, unlike them, Inflection isn't selling artificial intelligence products, but instead what they're doing is developing quantum computing, quantum sensing, quantum timing, networking, and security technologies that could potentially become increasingly important over the next decade. Now, the question I want to ask you guys is, what does BigBear.ai and Inflection actually have in common? And the answer is pretty simple. The customer. The customer, when we talk about both of them is, well, first off, BigBear.ai, they sell artificial intelligence solutions focused on decision support, intelligence gathering, border security, and operational awareness. Now, when you look at Inflection, what they sell is quantum technologies, including quantum computing, sensing, timing, and security solutions. So what that demonstrates is that they're completely different technologies, and they're also completely different products as a whole. But when you look at the bigger picture and you look at who they're targeting, the overlap becomes pretty obvious because both companies are pursuing opportunities tied to defense, and both are targeting homeland security. That's very well known among BigBear.ai, but some more people that are just casual investors in the retail space relating to quantum, they probably view INFQ as a pure quantum play, and they don't really think too much on the defense sector or INFQ positioning themselves in that sector. But both are working with intelligence and national security ecosystems, and both are addressing critical infrastructure needs. And also, they're both positioning themselves to benefit from government modernization efforts. So that's why I think that this comparison is so interesting to make when we take a look at both BigBear.ai and Inflection. So the technologies are completely different, but the spending trend is exactly the same because governments around the world are investing billions into next generation technology. Because as you know, recently the government gave massive funding to Inflection because Inflection signed a letter of intent with the US Department of Commerce for a proposed $100 million CHIPS Act grant to accelerate US quantum leadership. And in total, I don't remember exactly how many. I think there was 9 different companies that benefit from funding from the U.S. government that totaled an amount of $2 billion in total. I think that's give or take the right number. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I think it's roughly that number. And the fact of the matter is, the question that some investors should be asking, or I would say that I'm asking, is which investment story is more compelling? So, backtracking a little bit, let's talk again briefly about BigBear.ai and the bull case for it. The people that are more optimistic with BigBear.ai, their argument is pretty straightforward because the company has a growing backlog, the margins are improving, management continues expanding into commercial markets, and AI adoption continues to remain one of the strongest technology trends in the world right now. Now, on the other hand, on the flip side, for the bear side of things, or I'm sorry, not on the bear side of things, but on the other hand, when we look at inflection, sorry guys, when we took a look at the opportunities and the bull case scenarios for INFQ, the company, what they have is a strong cash position of roughly $569 million, and quantum technologies continue receiving significant government support, as we have seen in recent headlines. And the company has benefited from quantum related funding initiatives and continues expanding its commercial and their government relationships. And if quantum computing can eventually reach its full potential, the addressable market could be absolutely enormous. And personally, I think that this debate and the concept and the comparison we're making on this video are pretty interesting to do, even though that people view BigBear.ai and Quantum as two completely different companies, which they are, as they do offer completely different products and sell different services, but their customer is still the same. And I do like the comparison we made on this video. So in closing, what do you guys think about BigBear.ai and INFQ? Let me know in the comment section below if you're shareholders of either company. And if you do feel I added any value to your investing journey in this video or in any other videos, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, as I do appreciate the support from you guys. But with that being said, guys, stay safe, keep making good decisions with your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.